Right, so we're on Ascension 18 for the Ironclad, and basically, before we try to get into a run, I just wanted to look through the cards, because to me, there is only select builds that work, especially on the heightened difficulty, because there's just some cards that do not scale, right? So as the difficulty scales, we're at the point where we need a build that scales to effectively deal with everything, right? So in that sense, Clash is wonderful because it's obviously zero cost. So if you think of a generic hand where you have 5 cards and only 5 cards, being able to do 2 extra things because they're zero costs as opposed to 1 cost, right, is super powerful, right? So that's where like Flex comes in really good because it's just a straight up extra X amount of damage depending on how many attacks you're actually do. Now, the problem that I have is looking through the list of cards is, again, there's some builds that just don't seem feasible. And if I'm wrong, do correct me, because I would love to know what does work at these higher ascensions. But realistically, the only thing that really comes to mind is Limit Break, right? Being able to scale your strength to the point where you can sort of just out DPS all of the big requirements for any given fight, right? We did the Donut Boys last run, and I retried that over and over again, no matter what hand I was dealt, right? Because again, you can quit out any fight, you can replay the cards exactly as you've got them. It just didn't work. So there was nothing we could do. And that was a pretty decent build from my perspective. Didn't have Limit Break, but it was still a strength build. It just did not ramp enough. And if we look at cards like Juggernaut, for instance, where this seems like a wonderful idea, right? Whenever you gain block, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. That seems fantastic because you're able to, again, negate damage from your enemies while still dealing a decent amount to them. The cost is a bit questionable, right? Because it's a bit slow to have to set this up. You play it, you can block with 1 card, and that means the first turn you're going to take a decent chunk of damage because there's no way you're going to do enough damage through the block generation, right? So the feasible build to me with Juggernaut would be something like Rage and then very cheap many attacks, right? But again, that requires a lot of working pieces, and it still has that startup lag that causes it to be a bit of an issue in my eyes, because when it comes to blocking, the only feasible scenarios for me are A, right? The enemy's not doing anything. They're going to debuff you, right? In which case you don't really want to block anyway. You want to push damage because they're not actually going to be dealing damage to you. You can, if you're able to defeat the enemy in the next turn without, attacking this turn, then you can block, right? But unless that's guaranteed, unless you know precisely what cards you're going to draw into, what your average damage is going to be, that's also not really a helpful situation. So altogether, block seems like a stopgap, right? All it's meant to do is ward off some damage, and it's, in all honesty, seemingly better just to have better quality cards than have block cards, right? So even Iron Wave, which is attack and block, it's too low of damage, right? If it was comparable to a strike, maybe, or actually has to be better than a strike in all honesty. And we have cards like Anger, which seems fantastic to be able to play so many, but it's now required, you need draw. You need some way to get all the angers or expend the angers, right? Same with any sense of exhaust build or curses and sad specs. These are all very dependent on what else you get in the run, whereas again, picking up a flex is just something that adds to whatever build you're doing. Picking up a clash, if you can play it, fantastic. If you can't play it, oh well, it is, it's more of a bonus than a negative. And yeah, so looking through all the endgame cards and what is actually feasible, Exhume is definitely dependent on what exhaust card. There are some wonderful ones to grab, but you need to have that as a requirement. There's not really much reason to just pick up Exhume by itself, whereas Offering, you can pick it up because it's just fantastic draw and resource generation. Fiendfire, right? It's kind of bad. Was it? Off a 5-card hand, it'd be 4, so it'd be 28 for 2. So that's not fantastic damage, realistically. Reaper, I like it. It still seems way too low overall. Again, Juggernaut, way too much startup. Impervious, way too heavy of a cost to ward off 1 turn. Double Tap, again, fantastic. Works its way into anything you're doing, right? So that's sort of the go with all these cards. Demon Form, unless you have relics that increase your resource, spending 3, doing your whole turn to next turn gain strength, seems way too slow. Same with Barricade. Just spending your whole turn to then be able to maintain block in the following turn, especially when you're not really going to be able to generate enough block to fend off the higher ascension enemies, it just seems bad. Same with Berserk, vulnerability. You're going to take way too much damage that the extra resource doesn't really pay off. You'd rather just do stuff straight away. Upgrade Berserk is a little bit better. Bludgeon, I think I'm sleeping on, right? Is the notion that I've gathered, because it is just an exuberant amount of damage that I should probably be picking up, right? Most of the time it will one-shot most enemies on Act 1, maybe Act 2. Brutality, losing health to have that extra card. Again, if you're in a low-cost build, seems fantastic. I don't know if I take it. It combos really well. The upgrade is very nice. You know what? Actually, Brutality is probably decent. Corruption, with an exhaust build again. Without an exhaust build, you're losing a lot of valuable skills, because there's certain skills that you want to invest in, right, and make them reusable, that getting this cheap cost doesn't really matter, right? If we look, what are some of the most expensive skills? Well, it already has exhaust. Not really that great, right? There doesn't seem to be a lot of cards that can just work from the get-go. Unlike, again, Flex, Clash, Bludgeon, Carnage, maybe because of the damage. So, yeah, I'm at a bit of a loss on any other workable builds I can go for, aside from, again, just Strength or Clash, right? Dual wield with Clash, again, fantastic. Dual wield with Anger, okay. I mean, Anger in itself is probably too low damage, right? It's then dependent on getting relics that boost your draw, or getting cards that boost your draw, so that you can actually play a whole plethora of them. And then you also have the, is it a 33% chance to have it as the Act 3 boss, right? The Timekeeper, where that sort of build just falls short. You need something with a lot of impact, and there's no better scaling card in the Ironclad's toolkit than Heavy Blade, right? Just getting 3 times whatever your strength bonus is huge, and then upgraded to 5 is fantastic. And there are a lot of other ways to generate strength. So altogether, looking through the cards, the only thing I can see is truly feasible is a strength build, because it opens it up and it allows for all these other good cards to still work well, and all these other cards that are dependent, well, you say no to them, in all honesty. But if I'm wrong, do let me know on what some actual other workable builds are, but I'm going to try and get a Ascension 18 run going. Maybe we can figure out something out of the ordinary, but yeah, unless I can get to the Act 1 boss, I'll just keep repeating until I get a decent build, I think. Okay, so it's a tad different than usual. We have Rupture, right? So whenever you lose HP from a card, gain 2 strength. Bloodletting and Hemokinesis and some Rampage. So we're still thinning out the deck, but I think this is a solid backbone. I mean, we'll find out in a second, right? Whether or not we win or lose against this. That kind of sucks, not having the right card to start off. Flash Steel could net it, and it's a 0 cost that we can play over and over. It's a bash. Also got to flex. Oh wow. Well, we might as well play everything. Pop him. And I don't have to Bloodlet. Yeah, so the only problem with this is if we obviously don't draw the Rupture. It doesn't really matter. But it's definitely worth playing. Do I do damage? I feel like I don't. I feel like we just try to regen. I'm going to heal 3, so I have to use it next turn. Well, I can do that. And then use it, and we heal the full 5. Still going to be somewhat of a rough fight, but the Tungsten Rod does really help out with the Rupture stuff. I can't not start scaling the Rampage. I might as well add the vulnerability. 45 damage. Alright, so Bloodletting gets us strength, which is really good. And not much else. So we did pop him, which is good. A bit of healing. I feel like we'll have the damage to outdo this. I feel like it's worthwhile. Yeah. I think building the strength is important. Don't think we can KO, so I think it's bash and then defend. And we should be able to do enough damage. 55. Maybe, depending on what the Flash Steel draws into. Yeah. Alright. Not as much ramping strength as I'd like, but brutality definitely helps. Does that count? It's only turn. I mean, it is technically because of a card, right? Hopefully that does synergize. These are not fantastic. So whenever you lose HP, draw 1 card is really good, but we don't have a low-cost build. I guess it's the Runic Cube. I would have liked 1 extra resource, but I guess we're just drawing through our entire deck. It's definitely unusual. Now, I do want to shop. Hmm. We'll hope to get enough gold. I think we're at 125. Actually, I wasn't really keeping track, so I guess we'll find out. A little bit of block, some damage. Not fantastic. Yeah. So the whole build sort of falls apart if we don't get the rupture, which is really annoying. Yes, we block up a little. Although I should be trying to trigger the meat on a bone every single time. Flex, rupture, bloodletting, bash, rampage, rampage. Pummel or another flex. With our draw, I think another flex is more beneficial. Go big or go home? Yeah, look at that. All planned. Gain Dex. Dex is not that fantastic. We are going to play a bunch of cards, so that's tempting. Let's get rid of the last defend. And do we want it? I don't want the toolbox. Every time you play 5 cards in a single turn, deal 10 extra damage. Feels very doable. Does feel very doable. But I'm going to say no, I think we're going to hit the other shop instead of elites. Yeah, hopefully that was the right call. We can knock one down. Actually, I should have done that the other way. Oh wait, they have 4 now. Never mind. We're going to draw... Whenever you lose HP, draw 1 card. Does that not trigger off of... I guess it doesn't trigger off of enemy attacks? Anyway, Rupture, Flex, KO, Bloodletting, Brutality, and just Bash Rampage. A little bit of block. Would have liked it if they were buffing. But we should be able to trigger the meat. Hopefully. Ah! Oh, that sucks. I just realized what's going on. The Tungsten Rod is not in effect. So Brutality is useless. That's really bad. That does not excite me. Is there any way for us to... Innate, no. So it's always just 1 damage, so it's never ever going to work. Never going to build strength either. I mean, it's not horrible. We just play it anyway because it's 0 cost. But it would have been nice, right? If it was just basically a free... was it Demon Form? I think the Thunderclap is better than the Clash here. Although without draw... What skills do we have? Play, 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 play. You know what? Clash is better. Aside from the curse, it's just more damage. Yeah. This could ruin us, though. The perplexing gaze always screws us up. Then this time, taking 18, though. We can play the Flex. We can play the Bloodletting. It's basically just building strength. And I guess draw. Rampage. Not enough. Not enough. Yeah, so it really sucks about the Brutality. Oh wow, is it meat on the bone? Meat on the bone. It's definitely saving our ass. We can leave this fight if need be, which is also nice. I'm going to be taking way too much damage here. Yeah, I think the Tungsten Rod is failing us, unfortunately. Taking 24 means we just don't die. But unless we can KO, we do die. Is it worth rupturing? Means I can play the Clash. Is that even good enough? 27, 22, 30. Feels like it's enough. It is. Alright, the Shuriken is really good. How do they stack? That's the question. If it's single instance of damage each time, then it's horrible. If it works in the way, for whatever reason, my brain goes to, where it will do 2 damage now, it's fantastic, right? I guess it depends, yeah, if this stacks up. Which it should. You know what, we'll take it for the science. No thank you. We are definitely not going to the elites, we're going to the shop. This is not that easy of a fight, though. We still do gain cards. There's a chance. I should have bashed first. We'll see if we can deal with them next turn, otherwise we'll just smoke bomb. What is this doing? At the start of your turn, lose. Perfect. Okay, so now that ramps and we get cards, right? So that's good. We make them both innate, we're happy. So we can KO. Do I go one more turn? That's the question. Puts us to 12. We'll see. Flex, flex. Flash is now KO. That's at least some block, but we are short. Is it worth it? I don't know if this is worth it, taking the damage. We take 1? Yeah. I mean, our build is somewhat come together. I mean, Blood for Blood, I guess, is a correct pick. Because we'll take enough instances of damage. Gremlin's Horn is nice. I don't think we can afford to upgrade, I think we have to rest. Alright, please let there be good stuff. I do want the bag of marbles. Is it just the bag of marbles instead of a card removal? What would we remove? It'd probably just be a strike at this point. Out of everything, so I think I can take the bag of marbles. We also do blue candle. I think just starting with the vulnerability is good enough. Duplicate a card? Eh. I think it's leave. I think it's hit another campfire. It's rest. Fight the elites. Not a fantastic start, in all honesty. Luckily, they're charging up. That's the silver lining for this start. Problem is, yeah, the 33. And also the lack of hand size. I need to clear them. Yeah, I need to clear them. That wasn't so bad. Built a decent amount of strength. Not taking too much. He's going to summon. We get a ton of cards. Back to our hand is full. Blood for Blood is now 3. So if we can get over that initial hump, we do have pretty insane damage. Take another clash. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's just skipping. As he takes the clash. Ancient Tea. That's a really good start. Do I rest or upgrade? I would very much like the brutalities. Problem is, I need both of them. So again, make it functional. If I don't have both, it's just... Well, it's one extra card, I suppose, every turn. So that's kind of good enough. I feel like I have to... rest. I don't feel confident in our setup. Yeah. Rupture. That. I'm just going to exhaust it myself so we can do the little extra damage. Means we gain strength. Alright, so now this is the problem. So close. But hopefully it sets up a steamroll. It doesn't because we have the 2 brutalities. It's not worth clashing. 24. That would be a KO, right? Overkill, actually. He was already vulnerable. If we take the 21, he should go back to... Well, he's not summoning, he's buffing. Let's just play all the cards. Let's just always play all the cards, right? Alright. But we're fine. Yeah. So as long as we survive 1 or 2 turns... So it's actually really important that I get Brutality. It's the Empty Cage and it's Remove Strikes. It's their bad quality. This boss is actually kind of a difficulty. I definitely want to hit the shops overall. I want to continue to thin down the deck. But I also want a lot of campfires. Preferably campfires... I can skip the shop. Where I won't be requiring HP. 33. Still more damage overall. At least we have their fairy. That will definitely help out. Let's play it anyway. And we'll have enough damage now, right? No. That's sad. The meat is triggered though, so that's nice. So I think we come out ahead because of that. Definitely the blood potion. I'm going to take another clash. Lose what? Well, lose a strike. That's really good. We may have gone a bit overboard with our cards. Flex is always a play instantly. We'll get offering out of the way. There's Rupture, there's Flex. Play Brutality, play Bloodletting. And KO. Probably the one doing the most damage. 21, 18. Gonna be that. Ah, perfect. Would have hate to have drawn into the Ascender's Bane when I started the clash, trying to finagle damage amounts. There's the other Brutality. There's a KO. Gets me a card. Will now be free. Okay. I think our build is fine. I don't think I need the pummel. Kinda want the pummel, but I don't think I need the pummel. Let's just continue to get rid of strikes overall. Nothing else of worth. As long as we can come out ahead on this guy, I'm super happy. Offering, Flex, Brutality. It's not looking great. Flash is okay. Sender's Bane is not. Alright. We did okay in rolling the dice. There's Rupture. Bash. Bash. Clash. Clash. Ooh. That's death, right? That's 39. So I have to do that. I'm tempted to restart it. Maybe I should have been fishing for the right thing. Flex. Always play flexes first so we can redraw into them. Let's just try and KO. Heal up. Fruit juice is nice. I'm going to drink it straight away. Nothing from there. I'm going to start upgrading the brutalities. Since we have the fairy in a bottle, I think I need to have them fully upgraded. This is going to be rough. Flex, brutality. Bash is doing 24. It's always slightly short. 30. You know what? Paid off. We might be able to two-turn this. Back into Flex. Hopefully we have enough damage. I should probably count it. But we do. Thank God. Scales, eh. Reaper, tempting. But you only get one use anyway to heal. I'm going to take the campfire. We're going to smith. We're going to get the other brutality. It's kind of bad because, you know, it's 2 out of the 5 cards straight away. But I think it is kind of worth it. I think we play it safe. I think our build is kind of strong. There's nothing else I want to upgrade, I believe. Rupture's already been upgraded. That's just a decrease in cost, I think. It's just more resources. Yeah, no. We'll rest up, and we'll just play it safe and get to the boss. This is a bad one, though. Rupture, brutality, brutality, flex. I'm gonna draw cards. We can KO. It just Ascender's Bane, so that's not fantastic. We can KO again. Ugh. Do I want to take the damage? Yes, let's see what it gets us. Can I do this? Depending on what I draw. After offering. I feel like I've taken too much damage here. For me to be happy. But we got there. If only we had a way to make Rupture innate. Yeah. So now we have that 1 turn lag, which is definitely really bad. I feel like we'll be fine. It's flex, flex. I don't think it's offering. Right, because I have too few cards. Oh, that was bad. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, we'll have enough damage to end this, right? Yeah, just. The boss does debuff, right? Is that better than the 20 damage? I don't think so. I think the 20 damage is better. We'll take question marks. Does madness help? What do we want it to even hit? Nothing, really. We kind of go infinite anyway. So I guess we lose the max. Upgrade all cards can no longer heal. It seems tempting, but I don't think it's impactful enough. I almost feel like it's boss and then rest. This could bite me in the ass, but it's the easy boss. So we're fine. I should be able to come out ahead, right? We just want to graze meat on a bone, basically. Which we should be able to do. I hope. Right? Yeah, 51, and we get Champion's Belts, so they start with weak, so that's really nice. And no cards. Let's rest up, we have a ton of resources, we have a very good build. The only thing bad about it is the amount of draw we have, basically. But we should be able to manage, right? 12, I'm gonna just burn him down. Ah, that was my bad, I could have done a little bit more damage. Sender's Bane. It's nice to get rid of it now. Let's flex. Rupture. I feel like we can sort of do this. Bash. Offering. Rampage. Bloodlet. Not thinking this through properly, in all honesty. Bash. Blood for blood. Yeah, I think that's fine. We take 18, but we're poised to just ramp incredibly now. Sender's Bane is gone. We can definitely KO it this turn. Most likely. Most likely. Right? Question is, do I want... Actually, I kind of need to, right? Do I want the extra strength? I do. We're at 16. We can survive one hit because we have the fairy, so that's good. But we might be able to end it. Maybe. I have to draw because I need bloodletting, which I didn't get, so it's fine. We still have a ton of damage. Okay, we're fine. Flex, flex. Can't take too much damage, though, in actuality. There we go. So, slightly different from normal. I think I much prefer just Limit Break. Although, this might have gone a lot more smoothly if we didn't have the Tungsten Rod, right? I wouldn't have had to take the 2 Brutalities. I could probably not have taken their Hemokinesis and still been a fairly decent ramping build. But, nonetheless, Ascension 18 out of the way. On to 19, 2 to go. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.